Hey guys, so today's video is going to be my brow tutorial. This is the first brow tutorial I have filmed in about 2 years. It's been a long time coming and my brows have definitely been through a bit of a evolution, a bit of a metamorphosis, and I'm really happy with where they are now. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I tried a bunch of products, I tried a bunch of trends, and I will, like, if nothing else I've learned since I started doing makeup is that you just can't follow trends every time. Like, you just need to do what works for you. Try new things by all means, but don't get sucked into a trend just because it's like hashtag famous right now. Do what works for you. So let's get into it. I will break down the products that I like to use and the technique. I really hope you guys enjoy the video. So let's get started. So for my brows, they definitely have gone through an evolution and I've tried tons of products. There was a time when I was using 2 different types of pomade. I was using a pencil and a brow gel, like all at the same time. I think like circa 2011, 2012, we definitely went through the infamous Instagram brow phase where it was like more is more kind of thing. So I've definitely tried a lot of different techniques, different products. I think the things that I use now are basically my holy grail. I've tried to replace them. There is no replacing them. So the first thing that I go in is a powder, the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo. Mine is in the color Ash Brown. I was using the Senna brow powders for a long time. The Senna formula and the Anastasia Beverly Hills formula are very similar. I just think that I prefer this one a little bit more. In this little palette, you have kind of a cool tone lighter shade and a cool tone deeper shade. I do have black hair. It's a natural black. It's definitely not like a full-blown blue black. And even though my hair is super dark, I don't want black brows. I still like to keep them brown, but a cool tone brown, nothing too warm. So this works perfect for me. Whenever I use this product, I like to use my Makeup Forever. This is the 274 brush. It's just a double-ended brush. One has a spoolie and one has a angled tip. What I like about this brush in particular and why I prefer it over any other brow brush is the angled tip. I find that the way the bristles are, they really grab onto that powder and they're not so, I don't know, densely compacted that I can't get hair-like brush strokes. I feel like if it's too thin and too dense, you're going to have very distinct straight lines, but this almost kind of splays out just a tiny bit, like the bristles will actually kind of separate around my hair. So that's what I like about this one so much. After my brow powder, I like to go in with my Brow Wiz. This is the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the color dark brown. Once again, I prefer brown shades. I have tried other brow pencils. I do like the NYX one a lot. Don't get me wrong. I talked about it in a favorites video a while ago and I told you guys that it's a really good alternative. The only complaint that I had was that the formula of the pencil itself was a little bit drier. Not the end of the world, but I'm back on this bandwagon for now. I do go back and forth, but for right now I'm on the Brow Wiz and Anastasia and dark brown, like I said. And then the last thing I go in with is my Benefit Give Me Brow in the shade number 5. When I first started using Benefit Give Me Brow, they had only 2 shades and now I think they have 3. You would think there's 5, but I really think there's 3. I think it's 1, 3, and 5. I could be wrong, but that's what I believe. I didn't start using Benefit Gimme Brow until this year, early this year, I think like in January. It is a standalone, absolutely unique, can't live without product, and I've tried to live without it. I tried so many brow gels over the past year. Once I hit, like, when I ran out of my first tube of this, I was like, I need to find something different. This is the only thing I can find like this. What it makes this so special, in my opinion, is the brush. It's tiny, and the benefit of having a tiny brush like this is it easily gets in and gets each individual hair. It has fibers in this formula, so it actually lengthens your brow hairs as well, which gives them a lot of movement, and it makes it super easy to create the appearance that this is your eyebrows and it's not like painted on. I mean, I've used clear brow gel, I've tried the Urban Decay one, I tried the NYX one, I've tried several of Anastasia's, MAC, all of them. This is the best single brow product I've ever come across. There is no exceptions. There are no dupes. If there are any, actually, if you guys have any, please let me know. I just don't know any. I've tried. After I do that, I clean up underneath my brows and I take my MAC NW20 Studio Finish Concealer. I am on the hunt for like a similarly textured concealer like this. I really only use this kind of pot style concealer to clean up under my brows. I mean, I've had this same little pot of concealer for a couple years. I've had this concealer forever. It's just the one that I prefer, but if you guys know of anything similar in consistency and texture and coverage to the Studio Finish Concealer line from MAC, please let me know. And then I use my MAC 2, I can't read the number anymore, it's coming off. I think it's a 212 brush to clean up underneath my brow. So I thought I'd quickly explain to you the products I like to use, why I like to use them, and then we can just jump into the actual demo of how I do it myself. I'm gonna zoom you in as always. So let's get down to business. Okay, so we're zoomed in just in my eyebrow area. As far as my eyebrows themselves are concerned, my brow hair, I mean, it's not nothing. My brows have just like a lot of different tones in them. There are darker areas, there are lighter areas, so it can make filling them in and making them look natural kind of an ordeal. Like I said, I've gone through an evolution with my brows. But the first thing I like to do is brush my eyebrow hairs down. A lot of times I see people who do their brows start by brushing them up like this, and that doesn't really make sense to me because your brows go both directions. You have hairs that are going down like this and you have ones that are going up. So I think you really need to move your brow hair around, and then it's easier to follow the, what would you call this? The root of your brow hair? I think that makes it like a little bit more natural, and I can already tell I need to zoom you in more. So hang on one second. I'm gonna start off also by, saying the classic, can't stress this enough. Your brows are sisters, not twins. There's no point in driving yourself crazy trying to make them completely symmetrical. You guys know if you've watched any of my eyeshadow tutorials, not even your eyeballs themselves are completely symmetrical. You just want to make them complement each other. It's really all you can do in this life. All I do to my brows, I don't get them threaded, I don't get them waxed. Like, I would never let anyone touch my eyebrows anymore. All I really do is kind of clean up under here. I have to do that maybe like twice a month sometimes, and I'm not saying everyone should do this, it just depends on who you are. Sometimes after I do my brows, I will literally take little like scissors, that you use to cut your lashes, and I will almost cut my brow tail completely off. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I can't ever get these hairs. My brow hair is like my lashes is like the hair on my head. It wants to go straight down. It doesn't want to go anywhere. I freaking hate it. So that's why. But anyway, so I'm just going to take the brow powder we talked about in the beginning, and I'm just going to take the lighter color on my Makeup Forever 274 brush. Tap, tap, tap. As I said before, now that my brows are down, I can see where the root is coming in. So I'm just going to start, this is going to be really hard, hang on. So I'm just going to follow the root. Because I think if you don't do that and you go, what'll happen is I think people go above their brow, stuttering Stanley, because they're trying to do the top part of their brow, so they like outline it. You don't really necessarily have to do that to get the top of your brow defined if you just emphasize where your brow is naturally starting. Once you brush your brow hairs up, it's like already outlined and it's a lot softer, in my opinion. The first step. And even right now, like, I could stop. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't the worst thing. Now I'm gonna brush my brows up, because remember, they were down. So now we already have the top of my brow done. I'm gonna take that same lighter color out of the palette, and I'm just going to start filling in the bottom and kind of creating my shape. One thing I will tell you guys that I see a lot that I think people don't understand, if I look at a makeup artist's work, or just anyone's work, and I get the impression that their makeup is wearing them and not the other way around, it's always because of the brow. And I don't even just mean the color, I mean the shape that they're creating. Like, what I see a lot of times is like kind of an arch here, really highly pointed here, and then kind of a straight line like this. Like, it needs to be fluid. That becomes the challenge, is understanding your shapes. I mean, art is art, makeup is art. There is shapes involved. Learning how to create lines and fluidity with your lines is important. And one more thing I will tell you guys I really hate to see, and like, do what you want, but like, just listen to me, it looks really bad, is when people take their brow down too far like this, because they're trying to create this super harsh arch. Try to stick with what you already have. It's gonna look a lot better. And if you go down too far, which I used to do, trust me, like I said, it's been an evolution. If you keep this a little bit higher up, as opposed to down, like if it's here as opposed to here, it's gonna lift your face up automatically. If you drag it down, it's going to drag your face down first and foremost. But also one thing that drives me absolutely insane is when I see people whose brows are going down and their eyeshadow connects to it. Like their eyeliner basically touches the tail of their brow, or their eye, I can't explain it. It almost looks like their makeup is going all the way around their eye because they're not creating enough of a separation between their brow and like their work that's down here, particularly their eyeliner or their deeper crease colors. Try to keep everything separate. Anyway, you guys know I'm gonna teach you. Like I can't just be like, oh, I use this and this is how I do it. Like I'm gonna tell you. Anyway, so I'm just gonna fill in the rest of my brow. I'm just making sure that the shape is the way I want. My tail isn't gonna go much longer than this, but I am gonna sharpen it and deepen it. So I'm gonna go in with the darker shade in that same palette, and just on the tail end, on the underside right here, and on the end, I'll put just a little bit there to define it. And that's all I'm gonna do with that darker shade. Next, I'm gonna take my Anastasia Brow Wiz in dark brown, and I'm going to define the tip, the edge of my brow, and I'm just gonna draw a few hair-like strokes really swiftly throughout the brow. This is just gonna make it so that it's not completely see-through and like almost translucent. This is where things get a little out of control if you're not careful. Less is more with this brow pencil, so that's all I got to say. So do you see, like, I'm just defining that tail a little bit. And then I'm just going to feather it in softly so it's not so harsh here and then too light here. I'll go here a little bit with it. Just to create those hairs. I'm gonna draw some downward hair, some upward hair. And that's really all I'm gonna do with that. I'll hit it with the spoolie. The trick with these spoolies, by the way, just so you guys know, is you need to be really careful because you'll drag your color all over your face if you're not too mindful. And that's pretty much all I'm gonna do with that. And then I'm gonna take my Benefit Gimme Brow. This is like I said, the game changer for me. Take off some of the excess on your tube and then run it through the entirety of your brow. That's what I do, at least. The cool thing is you can really, like, especially in the front, you can really manipulate that natural fuzzy brow situation up front as much as you want. I'm not gonna do it this much, I just wanted to demonstrate that for you. And then you just kind of round it. Get it where you want it. And that's one brow done. I'm gonna clean it up really quick, and then I'm gonna do my other one sped up just so you can see the whole ordeal, like what it looks like when I don't talk, like how quickly I can do it. So I'm gonna clean this up. So now I'm just gonna blend this out. The benefit of this is not only it cleaning up underneath my brow, but it's gonna give my brow highlight a nice base to sit on top of. And do you see these little hairs I'm talking about right here? This is where I would tweeze or pluck anything I'm not happy with. So I'm probably gonna tweeze and cut all these off in a second, but really quickly, I'm gonna just do this eyebrow, and then off camera, I'll get rid of any strays, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done, okay? so these are my brows all done. They might not be for you, but I like them. I feel like they definitely frame my face. I feel like they give my face definition and my eye area a nice positive definition, but I don't feel like they look too fake. I mean, you might, but I think that they look, especially for me having black hair, I feel like I found a good balance with the color and the you know, the shape basically of my lashes and my eyebrows. Oh child, it's been a long day. Alright guys, that is the end of my eyebrow tutorial. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you like this makeup look, I will have a tutorial. It's actually a video that's coming that's a review and a demo of an eyeshadow palette, and the look that I came up with is the one that I have on my face right now. So I hope you guys enjoy everything coming up the next couple of days. I'm trying my best to get as much content up as humanly possible before Sunday. It's Friday right now. I have to edit and film as much as possible on Sunday because after that, I won't get to sit down again and film for like a week. So I'm just trying to get caught up in pre-film. If you guys have any suggestions or anything you'd really like to see, please let me know. Make sure you follow me on Snapchat so you can like still see me, and if you miss me, you'll be able to find me. Other than that, I hope you're having a great day. Please thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. Check the down bar for links to all my social media platforms. Subscribe if you have not, and I will check you in the next one. Love you more than you'll ever know.